Well, during the last growing season, we saw Auction Holdings Limited launching yet another subsidiary company, the first of its kind here in Malawi, a state-of-the-art platform for agricultural commodities apart from tobacco. That is AHL Commodities Exchange, AHCX. This is an organized, structured market with its main auction market center here in Lilongwe. It has warehouse receipting centers across the country where traders and farmers deposit their farm produce. Our business production team is here at AHCX, where we want to find out how the market has fared in the last 2012-2013 marketing season, and hear whether the market forecast anticipated in the last marketing season is what has been achieved so far. We'll also look at how the market is like this season. But first, let's look at the regional response to organized commodity trading in the last season.
With news that Auction Holding Commodity Exchange Limited, AHCX, registered a trading business of over 1 billion Malawi kwacha on its trading floors within 7 months of its trading business in its first marketing season since its launch, is a successful beginning, with approximately 2,000 metric tons of various commodity volumes having been traded at the end of 2013, presents an impressive contribution to the economic recovery plan of the Malawi government. Farmers and stakeholders across the country are complying with recommended marketing standards, like growing of recommended varieties of different legume crops, as well as post-harvest management of the produce so as to fetch better price on the market. And most farmers are opening bank accounts to facilitate smooth and secure transaction of their trade proceeds. This is an indication that the last market season's achievements have sent strong signals that the exchange is indeed transforming the way agricultural commodities are traded in Malawi, and at the same time inducing a vibrant market platform and more benefits to the country. AHCX market response in the northern, central and southern regions has also been marked as a rapid response. Breaking through the traditional and licensing market endeavors, AHCX market traded approximately 2,000 metric tons of legume commodities with a register of 58% of soya beans, 20% of groundnuts, 12% of maize, and 10% of pigeon peas. In the north, Mzimba, Rumpi, and Chitipa still comes first in the production of groundnuts, beans, and maize. And central region with Kasungu, Lilongwe, and Shisi produced much of soya beans, which was presented on the market. And in the south, Balaka, Zomba, and Chiladzulu produced and traded maize way above expectation of the market, which saw AHCX registering 450 metric tons in September alone. Well, this is an indication of a significant trading volume that the AHCX has imparted on the economy of Malawi. Although some farmers had a wait-and-see approach to the market, AHCX presented a classical way of trading other crop commodities on the market in Malawi. AHCX established 5 warehouse centers in the north, 7 in the center, and 7 in the south, where farmers and traders could deposit their produce. This was just a quick clinch on the market, with a considerable market shift from traditional vending. The coming of AHCX, therefore, has set the pricing window. This, therefore, we see slow transactions of the conventional market vending. With such AHCX's prevailing pricing rates and benefits, we will also see a shift from our traditional markets. Thus, therefore, the establishment of AHCX has indeed deterred the unlicensed trading environment.
Yes, indeed, the cross-border trade has for the past years been a thorn in the eyes of Malawi. But coming back to AHCX headquarters, where the business takes place inside here, that is where price negotiators present the aggregated produce to the buyers. I'll have a chat with the head of AHCX Market Operations, Davis Manyenje, to explain to us and give us the whole picture of how the business transaction has been like in the past growing season. Yeah, it's been a year now that the country saw the establishment of the auction holdings commodity exchange market here in the capital Lilongwe. It was actually officially inaugurated some late last year. Mr. Manyenje, can you take us through as to how has it been like looking back at this year or so of operating?
Well, it's been quite an exciting year. The first year always with its own challenges. However, there have been a lot of positives that we draw from how the exchange has operated over the last year. You will recall that we started operating before the official launch of the Commodities Exchange. And over the period, we've seen quite a lot of confidence that our stakeholders have in this market infrastructure. Initially, we had our own fears, I should say, about how the market is going to respond, but we were quite overwhelmed, especially the response from the international community, international commodities traders that have shown a lot of enthusiasm to participate on this commodities exchange. We've been able to transact some significant volumes for a first year, because the first year we had quite a short season, and we are quite hopeful that we will start off from the same platform that we started from last year and scale up our operations. We are also quite happy that we are able to go to areas that we did not operate from last year in terms of additions of warehouse locations. We have some locations that we've added to this year. And we are able to reach out to other farmers and other traders that were not participating last year. There is a section of the local processors that were not participating last year, but over the period they understood the concept, they understood the benefits that they can derive from trading on this platform, and we've seen them coming through. So overall, it's looking quite good, and we believe that within the next few years, this should be the market for the nation.
How did you manage to sort of like gain the confidence from all the stakeholders involved in this particular commodity marketing?
Well, I should say that our fear about how the market is going to respond came from the fact that the general populace has been used to the unstructured market. We are operating in more or less like a cash economy where everyone wants to deposit their commodities and on spot get payment. And here we were introducing a concept that somebody deposits a commodity, it goes through the quality processing, quality testing, and then a normal trade cycle and the settlement. That meant there's a time lag between the depositing and the time that the depositor gets their money. And that was a challenge in itself. And with the system, the way people are used to, it meant we needed to give it time to transition. It's that transition that was quite a challenge for us. However, when you bring a product that has got substantive value to the stakeholders, we are learning to say stakeholders embrace it, and that's what we are seeing. Last year we started a bit late in May when part of the commodity had already gone off. This year we had all the time, and we are still pushing ourselves. Demand is there, and we are pushing to make sure that the volumes that are coming through are substantive. There are challenges that we have been encountering, and the team has been working tirelessly to ensure that every bottleneck is addressed. For example, the logistic component that I mentioned. We've just added the logistics, facilitation on logistics, so that it's easier, even where a farmer doesn't have readily available transport, to take the commodities through to the exchange. They can interface with the commodities exchange. And we will interface with logistics service providers. They'll go and pick up the consignments, deliver at the warehouse. Thereafter, they are paid after the depositor has sold. We look at other challenges that we were encountering last year. For example, the bottlenecks that we had on warehouse receipt financing. This time around, we've comprehensively addressed them. And we've seen a number of banks now coming through to plug through the system so that farmers have put a wider choice. At one point, we had bottlenecks in terms of the turnaround period that banks were taking to process warehouse receipt financing. I can challenge you this time around, people are able to go to the bank and access that money within the same day, within hours. And those are the improvements that we are working on tirelessly to make sure that the value proposition that we made to our stakeholders, us as an exchange, are standing up to that value proposition. And we believe that this year would be the year that we set the tone for things to come.
Mr. Manyenje, maybe before we leave you, you have something to add?
Well, I always believe that when we look at the other side of the market, tobacco has transformed to be the #1 crop for Malawi because there was a structured market. The farmer out there was always assured to say there is a ready market for their crop whenever they grow. We've progressed from there to add market information to the platform for the other commodities so that people are guided in terms of what they can produce. People are guided in terms of what commodity is in demand. Stakeholders can favorably negotiate prices for themselves. And I believe what remains is for the Malawian farmer out there, for the trader out there, to sample the service and see how it's working for them. I believe that this will propel us and will bring a lot more stakeholders. That will bring schemes that will support production, that will bring schemes that will support export orientation, that will support value addition, and a host of other things. And as that happens, for the nation, there's a lot of jobs that are being created through the value chain. There's a lot of business scope for the SMEs. There's a lot of business scope for the banks. And that's the reason I'm saying, inviting everyone out there to participate, especially for the SMEs, especially for the farmers, to say, this is your market. Sample it. Let's perfect it together, because we want this market to work for you. So let's perfect it together so that it's a market that's very functional, that's very efficient, and it's working for the good of the nation.
Well, with such an impressive start, it is anticipated that the country will realize more foreign exchange, create more business for Malawians, and more trading opportunities. AHCX looks forward to being a sustainable commodity platform.